Assalamu alaikum. I'm Abdullah Hil Rakib, Managing Director, Team Group. Well, I believe, see, there are two scenarios. One is LDC, one is COVID. And of course, taking the entire industry into consideration, it was totally a people-driven initiative, and our resilient entrepreneurs could do whatever they have known. So with the change of the pattern upcoming business-wise, retail-wise, there are a lot of mind shift in terms of customers' behavior, in terms of the retail concept, in terms of financing. There are a lot of challenge coming in. So first of all, I would say that, say talk about graduation and graduating in terms of all those parameters. I believe in terms of infrastructures, we have worked long away, and by having Accord Alliance Initiative, we have seen that most of the facilities been already addressed and considered as the safest working place. And on top of that, our Green Revolution has added some mark on it, and I'm sure that now we can say with pride that out of 10 platinum LEED UHGB certified factories, 7 is in Bangladesh. Of course, that's not enough. We have to be responsible for reduce, reuse, and recycle, like the way the pollutions and is going towards or in contrast to the SDG goals. But I would say that the industry as an industry whole, for us as an industrialist or us as a factory owner, we are trying to do the adaptation for coping up with Industry 4, say Industrial Revolution and the transformations, right? We are talking about AI and IoT things into the floors. So, of course, those are the tools which, if we can achieve, that will help us to achieve the better efficiency. With the monitoring scheme, say in floors, previously we didn't have process. Now we are kind of planning to fix the process so that it's not just a person who declare who is doing good and who is doing bad. It's about recognizing and rewarding a worker who is doing better and understanding the multi-skill operator's contribution and acknowledging his contribution through ERP so that it's not being biased. So there are a lot of happenings into the floors which is kind of like preparing us to face the next generation business strategies. I believe the industry as a whole, association as a whole, we understand the need and the gap, and we are also trying to negotiate with the government how the government can support us in terms of financing all those technologies which can give us better efficiency on the floor, and of course make our logistics and make our infrastructure much efficient and better. Of course, with the days coming with Matarbari port get on live, we will have better lead time and we will have better efficiency. If the roads get better, Dhaka-Chittagong highway get better efficiency, we will have lead time enhancement. But then again, the logistics, then again, our product diversity make also like there are rooms to work on. And I believe the resilient workforce we have, if we can train them better, because at this point of time, the trainings are happening on a private level. When a worker coming to our door, we are training them with our own initiatives. Of course, BGMEA have 12 training centers, where we are now promising that we have to upgrade these training centers, and we also want to have industry academy partnership with all the schools where we can train those mid-level entry workers, entry staff who can actually come straight away and contribute from the day one. Because what we see, the gap is that a graduate from the universities are coming up, but there are less universities who are offering good courses to appropriate need. We all know that we import a lot of expertise, like about $4 billion go for that. But if we read, if we understand the gap, if we can encourage infrastructure-wise, even if we can negotiate the dialogue between the government and all UGC versus all the universities, that they can enroll all those courses into universities which can give a proper graduate who can start contributing from the day one. And even within their course, they can come forward with an intern program between their education and come forward to work with the floor, which we can offer them internship, and they can come forward, and when they graduate, they know what they are doing. They know what are the gaps and what are where the jobs are locating, which been now filled by the expats. So we have to really work on, and I believe that is a challenge, but then again, that's an opportunity. Of course, for getting us graduated in terms of achieving and in terms of hitting all those parameters which will give us GSP Plus, of course, there are conditions of workers, which I believe we are more or less there. But there are issues with trade diplomacies. I believe that in terms of having eligibility for GSP Plus, we have to achieve 2 points. Number one is actually there because for European Union, I think we have to have the product-wise one of the top export product, which is we are. But there are we have to have this trade diplomacy between Brussels and Bangladesh, that the threshold have to be moved on, because right now that have to be within 12%, which is almost there. So if we want to grow export, if we talk about being, say, by next 5 years or possible years to hit 50 billion, we really need to work on the moving the thresholds between 15%, which is kind of not really almost hitting the mark. I believe by having our educational workforce in terms of I will also agree with Ms. Babhai that he mentioned about HR. There are a lot of things we should work on, like people-driven to process-driven schemes. We are too much people-driven right away in terms of RMG, even in terms of non-RMG. I see we have people who are dictating without recognizing the correct process. And even on the entrepreneurs, like when we started, we didn't know how the process should be, simplifying the process, optimizing the process, making on a lean initiative to improve the efficiency and the cost, because going forward, our challenge will be reducing cost. Going forward, living standard will grow, so we have to give them a better salary level. The expense will go up automatically. So how do we survive hitting the same price? Because customers won't be able to afford the better price, because the economy going forward, because of COVID or because of strategy, getting online, there are a lot of challenges and a lot of smaller competition. Say a big retailer will face competition with a smaller online people whose operating expense is much less. So they will have to offer a better price. So we definitely have to work out how do we still live and let live.
Talk about balancing the manufacturing and bringing it to discipline. I believe it's, again, I will add with Ms. Babhai that it's about recognizing the process and rewarding the process driver. Because what we are doing is all people-driven, and a manager can make mistake. So we are not setting up the parameters that how do we understand the KPI for a person to improve, or then what is his next level. So everywhere in terms of manufacturing, it's not necessarily only garmenting or RMG. It's everywhere that it's kind of a manager person who decides who is good and who is bad. So industry as a whole need to address that, and we have to establish the process. And of course, like industry academia partnership can also reduce the gap. And all those expats we are paying can actually play a better role. We can, when we sign their permit, we can also have an undertaking from them that they will transfer this technology to the academia, and also those juniors who are learning under them. So if we can enroll those process, we understand the gap, and of course the discipline will come with a proper reward. Thank you.